Well, guys, let's go ahead and move on to the third topic of the day. And we were just talking about that recently. And I don't know, at first, it really wasn't no big deal to me. But now it kind of is. And I said, don't ruin it. And, somebody, I don't know how y'all feel about James Bond, but, of course, the franchise has been around forever. And I love it. And, it was just acquired by Amazon. They just bought MGM, and MGM does own the rights to the Bond franchise. But I have the report right here from IndieWire. And it says that Skyfall writer worries Amazon will destroy 007 franchise after MGM buy. I'm sorry, Bond is not content. And he says, a chill went through me, writes John Logan, about hearing Amazon's purchasing MGM. John Logan, a three-time Oscar-nominated screenwriter whose critics include the Daniel Craig starring James Bond tempo Skyfall Inspector, penned an essay for the New York Times expressing concern for the future of the 007 franchise in the wake of Amazon's purchasing of MGM. As Logan writes, with the acquisition of MGM and its moving catalog, the online retail giant bought into James Bond's franchise. When I heard this news, a chill went through me. Bond isn't just another franchise, not a Marvel or a DC. It is a family business that has been carefully nurtured and shepherded through the changing times by the Broccoli-Wilson family. Now, Elliot, you heard about this news right here. Do you think John Logan is blowing smoke? Or do you think what he's saying has some weight as far as MGM possibly running this franchise into the ground?
I mean, sure, there's a level of concern whenever you're selling your company to someone else, and knowing that this company is Amazon and they pump out content like no one's business in regards to stepping into the industry with competing with Netflix and Disney and HBO Max. So sure, there's fear that there's going to be a Bond spinoff TV show and series and all that, and maybe it gets oversaturated, maybe it doesn't have that same. Because one of the things about Bond, I mean, Bond is a very rare franchise. Besides MCU, there's no other larger running. This is probably the longest running franchise, or 23 films, whatever it is, besides Marvel. And so one individual character versus a whole, comic book characters is wild that it's competing with them. So I mean, it's a rare breed, as the gentleman said in his article. But I think the family already came out and said once that was bought by MGM, sold to Amazon, they made an article or they made a statement saying, trust me, this is a great thing by MGM, but James Bond won't be affected by this. So they already, I thought they nailed that in the bud. They put that nail in the coffin that we don't have to worry about Amazon diluting this franchise. So I think they have full creative control, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't think we have to worry about Amazon again ruining it or oversaturating the market with 007. But I'm excited to see what, when we get those announcements, once Daniel Craig does walk away from the franchise and we get our new Bond and see how they're going to move forward. So I think this franchise will be fine, regardless of Amazon picking them up.
Already, Larry, how you feeling about all this?
I understand his concerns, and the first time I read that article, I thought, this is just bogus. This is just more people worried about their little doll, they're losing control and all that. But then I started to think, no, this could be right, because Bond movies don't come out every year. Right. They take their time with Bond movies. They do. They take their time, and 9 times out of 10, they do them really, really well. And there's only been a couple of movies that haven't been great. They've been okay. I don't think there's any Bond stinkers, but there's been 1 or 2 that have just been okay. But most of the time they hit it out of the park as they take their time with it. And so I think that if Amazon wants to, if they want to put out more Bond content, having a streaming platform, I think it's going to allow them the opportunity to do something similar to what Marvel's doing, which is to create sort of a universe around James Bond and add and tell the stories of other characters. Because for a long time, some of us Bond fans have been asking for stories from like Moneypenny and what's his name, the dude that Jeffrey Wright plays, the CIA guy. And there was talk about a spin-off series with Halle Berry's character Jinx, and people were talking about maybe a spin-off with the dude, what's his name, Q, that makes all the gadgets. There's been a lot of talk with people saying we want this, we want that. It's never happened. And I think with Amazon, they have an opportunity to maybe explore some of those ideas and actually say, okay, well, if we're only going to put out a Bond movie every other year, or not every other year, every 3 years, then maybe in between that we'll give you a Bond related series.
Right on, right on. And let me go ahead and grab this super chat real quick. I'll read this real quick.
What a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside, what a money reside. Okay.
Derek Gaines, $10 super chat. Do you think theaters will recover? I brought some stock in AMC. I wanted to get some while it was low. Yes, I do think that the theaters will recover. I mean, I wasn't sure 6 months ago, even though I was still trying to be positive about it. But right now, I don't know. I'm just feeling pretty good about it. But that's just my gut right there speaking to me. So I don't know how y'all think they're gonna be all right and recover.
I don't know, man.
They did.
I don't know, man. They might. I don't know. I will say this though, man. If you bought some AMC stock and you bought it low, you need to take profits. And you need to take profits. That's one of those stocks that will go up and down and crazy. It may go up to $100. You never know, but it may drop down to like $8 too. So if you bought it low and you can make a nice profit, take some profits.
Right on.
At least take enough profits to cover your investment.
And let me go ahead and bring in the fourth guest to the show. That is a stock market master, Mr. Lamont Tyson with Life Games.
Just in time.
Stock market master.
Yes. How you doing, my brother? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How about you fellas?
We're doing pretty good, man. We're doing pretty good. Thank you for being here. You have a good day, good weekend. El doing all right?
Baby El.
I feel like I'm being run over, man. I mean, who's ever known something that is 10 months old could control your life the way that she worse than Thanos. She snapped her finger and everything disappeared. But having said that, man, it's good, man. I'm blessed to have her around, and I'm good.
Really well. Again, my brother, thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate it. We are on the third topic right now, talking about the Skyfall rider worried that Bond is going to be running to the ground with MGM acquiring the studio. And so the next person I was coming to is Mr. OneTakeBigDog. I want to know how he feels about this, and then I'm going to be coming to you, Lamont. So OneTakeBigDog, how you feeling about this?
I mean, I think in this situation, I agree with Larry. It's like, I get their concern as to like what could possibly happen to this franchise, but in my mind, I kind of think like I'm not a big 007 fan, but like if I'm not at all. But like if I hear about like a series coming on like Amazon that can like boost my my hype for the next film to come out, I think that's something that they should be happy about, because I think you're gonna have to get more people into this franchise who didn't grow up with it or just hear the name 007 and probably think about like some cool gadgets and just chicks. Because that's all I think about, because I'm not really like truly invested. And even in the movies I did see, I'm just like, he's cool, but he's just not. He never felt like that guy. So you gotta build the world around him. Like you don't have to like constantly. You don't have to like give me 3 James Bond movies every year. But I need some build up. Give me something to look forward to. Like from the time, like especially like when Daniel Craig leaves. Give me something to where those 2, maybe 3 years that the films aren't coming out, give me something to look forward to when it does. Right, so I don't think they should be too worried.
All right.
I don't know who said that Daniel Craig was the worst Bond ever, but I need you to go somewhere, sit down, quietly look into the corner, and reflect on your personal decisions in your life, because you have made a grave mistake saying that James Bond and Daniel Craig as James Bond is the best Bond ever. And I love James Bond. I was fully prepared to hate James Bond. I was fully ready for it. I was ready for it. And then he got on screen and I watched that first movie and I was like, oh, this is how Bond should be. Like if you've read the James Bond books, the way he plays that Bond is the way James Bond should be. He is incredible in it.
Before I come to you, Lamont, I just had this quote. What happens if a bruising corporation like Amazon begins to demand a voice in the process? Logan asked. What happens to the camaraderie and quality control if there's an Amazonian overlord with analytics pausing every decision? What happens when focus groups report they don't like Bond drinking martinis or killing quite so many people, and that English accent a bit alienating, so we can have more Americans in the story for marketability? What happens if all that happens, Lamont? What happens?
Maybe the Amazonian Overlord can hang out with Baby L. They can have the Overlord convention.
If B. Avery don't quit growing every week, now he's giving y'all voiceovers in his reading. He's accenting specific words to give you an emotional response. I mean, this brother, boy, he's going to be just like those meme stocks, straight to the moon. But
I like it.
I don't have a problem with this. As a matter of fact, I think with the amount of money that they're throwing at this and where Amazon wants to go and being the stream leader, I see nothing wrong with it. I think people should just give it a chance. Don't get too overly hyped about thinking that Amazon is going to change the story, write the story in a way that you're not going to like. Because one of the reasons why they bought this property is because it's such a lucrative property among the other things that was in that whole deal. And if you go in there and you tweak it too much, you're going to be a lost leader. And Amazon's not in the business of losing money. The shareholders definitely not in the business of losing money. And they are trying to become more competitive with their streaming service. And they've been doing a good job with some things they've done in the last 2 years. So I think that everybody should just chill out, be cool, and just give them a chance before we excoriate them and see what happens. And to your point, Larry, about Daniel Craig, I was iffy about him too. But I'm not going to say he was the best, because I'm going to hold down my old school folks that love Sean Connery. And I'll leave it at that.
Sean Connery is legit, no doubt. He is probably my second favorite. But he is. I will say this that's interesting, though. If you guys remember, we talked about this on Brandon's show a while back, that there were a few different streaming services that were interested in buying the next Bond movie, and MGM wanted $600 million for it. And so now when you look at Amazon thinking, okay, if this movie's worth $600 million, we only need a couple of these movies to make up that $8 billion, because not only do they get Bond, they get everything else. So, I mean, this is a great, them acquiring MGM, this was a great deal for them. You know,
and at the price they acquired, a lot of people are thinking that price is a lot. Amazon has that probably in the cushions at the center or something. I mean, that wasn't nothing for them. You can go, they go find pennies like that in the backseat of somebody's car. That was nothing for them. And for where they're trying to go with Amazon Prime and their streaming content. And then I've heard rumors that they're trying to do connected theaters where you just walk in with your phone the same way you can do at the grocery store, and your phone will link you to being paid or a Prime member and watch the movie in theater. So I don't see them spending this money and taking this franchise and ruining it if they want to continue on the good forward they're going.
Yeah, this doesn't bother me at all. It just doesn't bother me at all. It's just a little last comment this dude wanted to make real quick. What did he say? Bond is not content, and he's not a mere commodity. Logan concludes. He has been part of our lives for decades now, from Sean Connery to George Lazenby to Roger Moore to Timothy Dalton to Pierce Brosnan to Daniel Craig. We all grew up with our version of 007, so we care deeply about him. Please let 007 drink his martinis in peace. Don't shake him. Don't stir him. But yeah, this is really not bothering me at all. So I'm
glad they feel that way, because there needs to be the creatives that feel that passionate about their projects, and then you need the business side that says, okay, we love your passion. Now let us take it and make some money off of it. Because if you don't, all that creativity and all that passion doesn't mean anything, because no one will see it and you can't put it out there. So you need both sides.
Right on.